What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again. The light is off. How do we turn it back on? Oh, it was Zach. Okay, so we're here in Toronto. We just got back from BCS Toronto 2019, and we're going to do a tournament report. People really liked it last time, but we were like in the car. There was a lot of road noise because my car's pretty loud, so I wanted to do something a little better this time. So we're in our Airbnb in downtown Toronto.
Look at that view, Tim.
Right on the water. Yeah, we got Tim Hortons right over there.
I can see.
Open 24 hours. So,
yeah.
All right. So let's get right into round one. So let's start with Brandon. Brandon, what were you playing, and what did you play round one?
I played the Konosuba. Round one, I played Kontai. Didn't do really anything special. I just triggered every single climax my deck had to offer. So.
Did you win?
Yeah, it happens to anybody. So is that the first time you played against Kontai?
Second time. The first time was at the Techo when I just killed my face drunkenly.
Oh yeah, the Kontai guy.
Oh yeah, Kontai guy. Where we had to wake Brandon's drunk ass up off the table to get him to go play this match, and he destroyed this guy. We have no idea who he is.
Florida man.
We never saw him again.
Shout outs to Florida man.
But yeah, I guess that's round one, right? Andy, what about you?
Alright, so round one I played against Pastel Palettes.
What were you playing?
Oh, I was playing Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Round one played against Pastel Palettes Fever. He was playing like an 8-win build. It was pretty cool. Shout outs to Bowen. He was my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
He's only been playing for a month, but he did pretty good, you know. He got fucked pretty hard though. Like, he played well, he just got fucked.
Yeah, I mean it happens.
Yeah, like he just wasn't hitting his brainstorms like at all. He kept whiffing them and not canceling. And he was at 3-5 when I tripled Mikasa him. And I won.
That may do it.
It got there. 3 Mikasas gets there.
That it does. All right, Brian, what about you? What were you playing?
I was playing Konosuba.
Okay.
Which I need more SPs for. Hook me up. But I had a buy card for the first 2 rounds, so I didn't play any games round one. I played Darkness Waifu against Carmen in friendlies, and I canceled a lot.
Yeah, I was playing Summer Pockets on friendly, so. All right, Zach, what about you?
I got a pocket for round one. I was playing AOT.
Okay.
And not much to note here. The guy seemed pretty unused to most meta decks. He told me.
Okay.
He mostly just plays friendlies with friends. I guess he's a local, or maybe misremembering. It was a long day, very long day for all of us. But what was notable with this is that at the first round, they started off the theme for me for this tournament, which was all my climaxes went to the bottom. Like it didn't matter here because, well, it almost mattered here. He almost killed me at the end, but I think what happened was I Mikasa him. He went up to 3-6. Then it was his turn. I had 1 Mikasa left, and I specifically made sure that it lived because I think his word was or something. But he ended up crashing into it because he didn't know that I could burn him on reverse. I told him it burns on reverse.
Okay.
He misunderstood what that meant, so he ended up dying because of that.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna pass off the camera to Zach here. We're gonna do a bit of a around there. Yeah, you just hold it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Carmen, how was your round one?
So yeah, I also had a buy card. So my first 2 rounds, I was just playing friendlies with Brian. So, yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's pop back around, I guess.
All right, Brandon, round 2.
I played against I think the new Bang, one of the new Bang Dream sets. I'm pretty sure you were there, Carmen, coming watching off the side. Was it new Bang Dream?
Yeah, it was like a volume 2.
Yeah.
It was like an ILE build, I believe.
I wasn't really sure what he was doing, but I just canceled every single.
Was this the game where Brandon sacked like a god that we were watching?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. So like Brandon. So like we go. Brandon is like slow playing this guy, and by that I mean like they're in turns. He's not actually slow.
No, like they're in turns. And Brandon is 2-0.
He's not slow playing him, but like they're going all the way till time, right? And we go over, and Brandon's only character on his board is a covered in snot Aqua, and like he says under his breath, like I hear it's like there's 4 in that deck. And I looked at it, so there's like 8 cards. So he got mandatory mill
I forgot
too.
about I missed that. I'll admit I missed that.
So this guy sets up double new Chisato Fever, which is like encore step, pay 2 or 3, burn 3.
Burn 3, yeah.
Which is like a pretty like scary finisher. Like burn 3 is like pretty good.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Bowen. It was Bowen. You played against him.
Oh, that was
Oh, is that
The guy I played against round 1. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so Brandon, like, okay, so the first attack is like the new Aya Bomb into the Aqua. He cancels on 2. He then goes, oh shit, realizes he has to mills 2 stock souls, one after another. Brandon then proceeds to cancel the last one on 3, refresh, take his refresh point. You're now at 3-0, right? He's at 3-0. He then proceeds to cancel all the rest of the damage for the turn on the last card for the rest of it and win. You sacked the fuck out of that guy. That guy deserves an apology.
We're sorry, Bowen.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the Wi-Fi here? Is it Lena? What's the password?
It's on the Discord.
It's on the Discord.
The fob check.
Yeah, the fob chat.
Alright.
My next.
Alright,
Yeah.
tell us about your round.
Okay, I played against round 2. I played against Bang Dream also. It's against Zeit Yukina. So I guess double Yukina, I guess, right? So it's
Yeah,
the Zeit
Zeit.
combo and then the.
This is deciding to burn.
Yeah, Yukina, yeah.
I was gonna go into a little bit more detail on this one. I'm gonna skip some of it, but it was like pretty close for the most part. On the final turn, I like triple Mikasa with him, and he only had like 2 climaxes or 3 in his deck or something. And he canceled the pings. Or no, he ate the pings and canceled the big damage every time, and lived at 3-6 and killed me.
Yeah, Brian and I were watching that game,
Oh, it
and
was
he,
that.
this guy proceeded to like
He triggered
trigger book,
He triggered 2 books.
trigger book,
Yeah.
draw pants,
Twice.
trigger book, draw pants, then like proceeded to double cancel after that. And I was like, wow, I wish I was that good at Weiss. That's some crazy shit. Like, because I came over and somebody asked me, like, what's going on in this game? And I was like, oh yeah, this guy over here is dead. Because I saw him like draw 5 climaxes.
I think
And then he proceeded to live and win, and I was like, wow, I wish I was that good at the game. Like, it's like insane. If only things like that could happen to me. Like, you know.
Yeah, it was the guy who top 4.
Did he top 4?
Yeah, he was in top 4. Kept missing his triggers against me, which is kind of annoying, but
Or was it like a toilet trigger?
yeah, it was the
Toilet trigger. Yeah, you can't whip those.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you do those. If you whip
Don't
them,
whip
that's
them.
on you. They're May effects, so like your opponent doesn't have to let you go back and do them. So
So just don't be bad at Weiss Schwarz long.
yeah, don't be bad.
But yeah, that was my round 2.
In my round 2, I continued my friendly games against Carmen.
What are you playing this time, Brian?
I think I played a game of ReZero, right?
Yeah, I was like losing horribly by being out.
It went horribly.
And then I won like 1 game, and then Andy came over and handed me the Wover deck, where I proceeded to do nothing but like trigger Stalk Soul and like hit you for 3 over and over and over again, and do nothing but field garbage like every turn. Yeah, I won.
Superior.
Yeah.
Oh, but
superior.
yeah, that was.
We don't need set 2.
Yeah, but Brian and I were out, so that's my round 2 as well. We were,
You had to buy the first 2 rounds.
yeah, because it was 8 rounds. So when you have a buy card, it goes to 8.
7 or more.
7 or more rounds, you get 2 rounds
buys,
to buy.
yeah.
So.
Alright, Cameron's bringing up the charger
so
now.
you
Here's
gotta
opening
go
this.
over. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
All right, Zach, tell us. I don't know how to tell how much battery we have. We'll just roll with it.
just half the screen. Tell yeah.
Okay, we've got half a battery. We're good.
Okay.
Alright, we're at next phase often a Banger deck. It was like just something with someone trying stuff out with new cards from the new set. This is when my other big theme of the night started, which is I shoot right up to level 3 very, very, very quickly before I'm entirely ready. I'm very good at. I am quite used to this though, so I am pretty good at scrambling and cobbling together 3 Mikasas anyway.
The Zachary Wolf is just triple Aaron always, triple Mikasa always.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, I ended up winning this one too. My opponent after the match told me I don't know what that was, so I so I couldn't like tell how well he was playing with the cards he had. But he did say that he ended up playing it safe when he probably would have been better to play a bit more risky and actually go for his finisher. He played like a couple of healers and just like tried to outlast me, which against AOT is not always the wisest unless you're extremely well compressed.
You just get pinged to death. Pings are hard to compress against.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the main highlight. Though it was kind of interesting to see some of the new Banger cards, because I don't think there wasn't a lot of Banger from what we were.
There was a lot of Banger.
We just didn't face any.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of it.
I only fought it once.
Yeah, I only had this one guy.
I feel like looking around the room, it was everywhere, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I felt like I saw Banger at every table.
Yeah.
But I was never the one playing.
You guys said you saw a lot of
unfortunately.
sunshine. I didn't see it sunshine.
We'll get to that, but I'm. All right, we need to get back on the charger. The camera's back to a quarter battery.
You can go ahead and sit down.
Get my good side, Ryan.
Everybody can sit on.
You just want to pass between you and me then, or
We can.
Everybody, the person in the hot seat can go over his back seat.
All right, Carmen, tell us about your round 2.
Or what? Round 3?
No, round 2.
Round 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still playing.
Yeah, you didn't talk about your round 2.
Yeah, we're still playing friendlies.
Okay. All right, Brandon. I'm zooming in on
Round
you.
3.
Alright, oh shit.
Of this AOT.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I played some not Mikasa A. I like.
Yeah, like Aaron
Paul build.
Yeah.
Paul build.
Honestly, I probably didn't try as hard as I could have in that game because all of a sudden he's at 3-2 and I'm at 1-2, and so I just kind of like dirtled because I thought I was gonna win. Then all of a sudden I lost.
I thought I was gonna win, and then I lost.
And it's like I started attacking, he just started canceling everything for about 3 turns straight, and then before I knew it, I'm like, oh, I actually lose this game now. So
Wow.
I
Sucks.
just moral of the story, you didn't win. You don't win till you win.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Good job, Brandon. You learned your lesson today. Good lesson learned.
All right, Andy, round 3.
Round 3, I played against another Bangdream deck. This one was Roselia themed though. So all Roselia characters. I had it like in the bag early, like.
We do like bag.
I feel like I do like bag, and I had it in the bag, but I really bricked hard. I don't think I've ever punted harder, like in all the time I played Magic or Weiss or anything. It was real bad. I was at 1-6 or something, and I was like gearing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this early play me cost, like, cause I had the Aaron in my clock.
At 1-6.
Yeah, and then I'm like, after I grab that, I'm like, I should brainstorm so I level up and I can play the Armin, the level 2 Armin, and then I level a second red card by mistake.
Oh boy.
And then I end up attacking with one character that turn, and he was playing the Roselia combo, the bacon cookies. What is it? The Lisa.
The Saya, yeah.
The level 2 Saya combo that you if you Joker reverse their field with Fever, you get to.
You get to, for every Saya you have, you stock a card from waiting room and search a card from deck.
Yeah, he only had 1 card in his deck, like after that. So like he had 2 cards in his deck. He attacked once, and said, "Okay, I'm done now. You're Joker reverse." And he just like stocked 3 cards. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like,
because he played like 3 Sayas and only attacked once. Joker reversed his field.
and then he just like
stocked 3. Oh yeah, that's really nasty.
And against
Yeah.
where I'm trying to ping a lot, it's really sucks. And I just tilted out of that when I started misplaying a lot then.
Yeah, it's hard when
I
you're
didn't
always
get
that
my
volume.
composure back till later in that day, but yeah, it was a disappointing loss for me.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Zach.
Zach, round 3.
I have written down Sal Meta ate shit and died. Basic. I don't remember much of this one. It was pretty much a normal game right up until level 3. It was against I think their finisher for Sal Meta is like Leaf a Clock Kick, right? Something or it's
or like Xenon or
I got Leaf a Clock Kicked.
Okay.
And that same turn that I got Leaf a Clock Kicked, I also didn't cancel anything at all with any of the 3 attacks. And I had just refreshed like 6, so it wasn't that bad. I thought I would have canceled something. But other than that, it was pretty much just standard meta build of Sal. Like I faced it so many times in locals that
okay.
not nothing really that remarkable. I just ate shit and died.
All right.
Yeah, this is fast between you and me.
All right.
Oh, whoop.
Okay. Oh, it's time for me to actually talk about playing Weiss Schwarz.
Okay.
All right. So, in round 3, I played against Love Live Sunshine. From what I have written here and from what I remember, I had an ambush union in my opener. I ran fairly clean, didn't trigger many climaxes, and ended with a pretty standard Fumio into Megamine Clock Kick finisher. Nothing.
Ooh,
Basically
boring.
cheated, right?
Yeah, Konosuba's cheating.
Yeah, this is gonna be a running theme on the day. Konosuba is cheating.
Konosuba is cheating, but yeah.
Nothing eventful happened.
It was in all seriousness, Konosuba seemed like a really good meta call for this regional.
Yeah. It wasn't much
a lot of
threatened.
AMT running
Yeah.
around. A lot of Bang Dream was like just giving up free union reverses, like just like a lot of easily farmable stuff.
Like we talked about this like before, and
Yeah.
we were thinking it was gonna be like
the opposite, right?
We thought it was gonna be a lot of Sunshine Konosuba.
I feel like we project a lot of our local meta onto the scene in general, and we need to stop because we have a very warped idea of what.
Well, our local
What is
meta is
played?
70% Konosuba.
Yeah,
The whole world is
70 to 80%
Konosuba hellscape.
Konosuba.
Pittsburgh loves Mega Man.
Yeah, where you can show up to locals, go 4 rounds, and expect to play against Konosuba meta twice. That's Pittsburgh.
Feel bad for all those Amelia fans out there.
Yeah, let me. I guess it's me, right?
Yeah.
Round 3.
Amelia waifu wall.
Okay, so my round 3 is my first round 3. So I guess I should say I'm playing Love Live Sunshine, and I queue into Sal. It's your basic standby switch build. Nothing really different in the build. It was very standard. I ate garbage. It was so bad. He like canceled every attack on first deck. I remember he looked down at his clock and he was at 0-4. The only damage he had taken in the past 2 turns was him clocking himself. And I had been attacking like twice a turn and he was canceling it all. And he looked down and he's like, oh, I'm still at level 0. At this point, I was at 2-2. It was a really bad game for me. I still got Chica and Yo off. I was just like so behind. It's like you can't deal with that like level of behind as any deck. But like I did start to claw back because that turn where I lived, because I shot him up with Chica Yo to 1-6, and then he clocked to 2, started to like set up standby stuff, getting Austin out. I was really afraid of getting memory kicked. But he never did it despite reversing me. He like let me have my stuff and like con and save stuff. But I did Ruby back up him and hit like 4 climaxes, and that's how I was able to like maybe have like a hope of winning. But like I went from 2-6 to dead like that. Like it was real bad. I think I played like 5 turns maybe that game. It was over in a flash. It was real demoralizing to go right from your buy card to X1 like that, where it's just like, even after the game, like my opponent looked at me and was like, man, that was bad. What are you supposed to do? But he went on to like play really high in the table and stuff like that, and he was playing the other guy who I played later on, I saw, so like as a tiebreaker it wouldn't have been a bad game. But it was just really unfortunate to go down that early. It's kind of demoralizing. But I rallied and kept going, so.
Did he top that guy?
I don't know. I don't believe he top 8'd.
No, I don't think so.
You said Sword Art, right? I don't know where
Sword Art, yeah, there was no Sword Art, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was playing, he was like in contention to be X1 like up until the 7th round, so. Yeah, we should say that too. They were planning on playing 8 rounds and cut the top 8 early, as Bushiroad is apparently want to do, from what I was hearing people talk about. Some people were mad about it, like there was a guy talking about it at the end. Yeah, it was just like, oh, it's unfair. They should go the full 8 rounds, like, because there wouldn't be enough X1s and it would actually be what it's supposed to be. And I was like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? It's Bushiroad.
Bushiroad. We love Bushiroad.
But yeah, I guess that's it for round 3.
Sponsor Bushiroad. Bushiroad sponsors Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz.
No.
No, don't even joke. What's up, Brandon? What was your round 4?
Round 4, I played against the Sunshine.
The Sunshine.
The Sunshine.
And
The artist formerly.
Do you remember
As
asking
Love
about
Live
the game? You're just
Sunshine.
taking my word for it.
it was actually Sunshine. And I thought I got him. I remember that I was losing actually really badly, just because Sunshine is just a good deck. And then I decided I was kind of sure. I think I only had like one Megami in my hand, and I hit like level 4, like I was like level 3-4 something, and I'm like, we'll see what happens. So I played Megami, looked at 3, found another Megami, played Megami, so I found a power. No, I found another Megami. Then played that Megami, dug farther, and then I think I found like powered up whip, and then I just kind of drew into all my pieces, slammed him. I got him from 2-2 to 3-6. If I triggered a slow, I would have won, and then he killed me.
Oh.
Rip.
Love being 3-6.
That's like all my games today. I kept all my decks stopped at 3-6.
Are we having Cosmic Brownies?
Huh?
Cosmic Brownies?
Nah.
Not yet.
What's up, Andy?
Okay, round 4, I played against. Let me pull my notes here. I was sitting next to Brandon. It was a fun time. I played against AOT. It was a mirror match. This dude had like a completely foiled out deck. He seemed to really know what he's doing. He knew the lines and everything. But like, I got my errands off first, and that matchup I'm finding is really like, whoever gets their errands off kind of wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That
Sounds about right.
Where's my water?
Like, funnily enough, AOT is weak to AOT. It's like they're on reverse.
Wow, a deck that needs reverse is bad.
If you get your errands first, you kind of run what
What I've been
happened.
Pokemon.
He was running the Mikasa change and the Armin change at level 2, which is kind of interesting, but
We do like stand and swap.
That's like really old school.
I didn't know you could
running,
swap with a back row. Like, I went to like run, like, hit over with one of my Aaron early plays over his Mikasa, and he like ran it to the back row with a Brainstormer. It's pretty cool. Good play by him.
I hate Brian. I hate stand and swap. So
Why?
Brian plays stand and swap. Like, it just gives me nightmares. Like, I hate playing as it. Like, it's the darkness deck because like it creates a situation where it's like this thing can burn me when it doesn't cancel. This thing is 14-5 at level 1. This is like so annoying. Stand and swap gives me like nightmares. But like that's
the
besides
Mikasa
the
one's
point.
not that good. But
Yeah, the Mikasa one's still pretty
it's
good.
more fair, yeah.
But you know, what are you gonna do?
You got that level
Very
for
much.
stand and swap out at level 0.
Yep.
Who's next? You, Zach?
Yep.
Oh no, my phone. Okay.
I had Cardcaptor Sakura next. It was pretty standard, at least for our scene. I don't know if the main.
What is he playing? Record? Bar?
Green.
Green? Was he playing bag at level 1?
No, he's playing Wind, he said.
Wind. Okay, wind bar. Okay.
I got really excited and has.
What's the wind combo at once?
Frog suit. Search.
Frog suit, yeah, it's just a shitty Shimakaze. It's like a 65 after climax play Shimakaze.
Okay, so it's
real bad.
So it's like most of the JP Shimakazes.
English exclusive.
At least it's on wind.
So I lost to this deck.
I love
And I will explain why. It was pretty standard, at least for tonight it was standard, you know, climaxes at the bottom, walking up to level 3 pretty fast. But I actually very nearly almost had him. I had him game next turn, and I had like 3 Mikasas and then thank you. And like that was my hand, I was like all set. Then I ate 10.
You just ate 10?
I just ate 10. Like he hit me for 6, then he stuck a 4.
Oof.
Oof indeed. So that's kind of all I really want to say about that one.
All right.
Like it's pretty standard. Soccer's pretty vanilla deck. There's like there's not that much to really say about it.
Yeah, you're just worried about getting clock kicked from power.
Yeah, I like Cardcaptor Sakura. I think it's a cool set. It's slightly underpowered, but I like it. I like the idea of it. Too bad we didn't get JP Cardcaptor Sakura. Anyway, in round 4, I played against Sword Art Online. This was Standby Bluegate. The Bluegate is the Link Strike combo at level 3. I've never played against this deck before in my life.
That being said, Brian has a lot of experience versus Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who has Sword Art Online experience here, it's Brian.
Yeah. What else? So my opponent early plays Link Strike Xenon at level 2 and goes for the restand in an empty lane and gets the restand. I cancel the first attack for 4. He swings again for 5, and I just eat the 5 and go right up to level 3. At this point, I am kind of panicking because I'm like a level behind. So I'm at 2-6 at this point. I clock myself to 3, and I go all in on my combo. I get him up to 3-6. I managed to, I get him up to 3-6, and on the swing back, I managed to live. He kills my board off in the process, and then I chump swing him to death. So, as is standard.
Damn.
We love jump swings.
We love Konosuba.
Yeah, we love it. We love Konosuba.
Konosuba.
Yeah,
Konosuba.
Clap emoji.
Yeah. So at this point, this is the end of round 4 with my buy card accounted for. I'm 4-0 at this point.
All right, Carmen.
All right, so at this point I'm 2-1. I'm not feeling too great. Thankfully, I'm discouraged, and thankfully I sit down. And this guy starts shuffling up, and I look down. It's Gurren Lagann sleeves. I was like, yes, please, this deck. Please let it be this full meta deck. Please let it be this deck that I've played against multiple times a week for the past year. Please. And it is. He starts saying, it's just oh, do you need me to tell you what any of these cards do? And I stare him straight in the face and I say, I play against this deck multiple times a week. I know everything in this deck. And he a little bit of the color drained out of his face. I guess he'd been having a pretty easy time, people not knowing about the compression strategy, how it worked. He was definitely playing he milled out to the end of his deck and played a bunch of marker cards, even though they weren't great. He crashed the zero Gurren Lagann, the markers the brainstorm.
Lagann Impact.
Yeah, Lagann Impact. He played that out and crashed it just because he was trying to set up for refresh. I got him with a nasty Ruby Mill, resolved Chica Yo without problem, farmed off some of his zeros with Chica Combo. I got to 1 first. He took he searched out the anti-change counter, the 2-1 ditch anti-change counter, and he had 4 cards in hand, one of them being the anti-change counter, and I made it a conscious effort to front with Chica. I sided and with Yo for for burn 3, burn 2, attack for 2, open lane for 2. Front with Chica. He anti-changes the Chica because I reveal a Stoxel on trigger, so he's got incoming 5.
Okay.
No, because I played a climax, so he's got incoming 5.
Yeah.
And he anti-changes just to not take the damage, even though he was decently compressed. He would definitely cancel it anyway. It was definitely a really bad misplay. He went down to 1 card in hand, and I just instantly conned the Chica to punish really hard, and at that point the game was over. He did set up in his clock coincidentally the Sunder pieces to try to hold them over refresh, as well as on the field. And I set up some side attacks to make sure I cleared his clock, put him to 3, then put him over refresh, because that's a big thing with the Gurren Lagann deck to deny their Sunder. So yeah, it was just a match I was really comfortable with. It was a normal enough game. I shut it down, and really it was a good confidence booster to play against Gurren Lagann. Get back in the game, and then I was 3-1. So yeah, that's it.
Brandon.
Round.
So this is what?
5.
Round 5, yeah.
I was 1-3 at this point. It just didn't work out. So, so I decided to swap decks. I stayed on the bracket just because I wanted to keep playing. So
Brandon illegally switched decks.
You kick me out.
Yeah, I guess what are they gonna do? So, it's not like you switched to a better deck than Konosuba.
There goes our Bushiroad sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry guys. And so I swapped Konosuba out for Prillia and played Prisma Ilia, just fun games for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
You remember any of them?
I lost.
And you couldn't go.
Bracket?
What?
Were you still playing in bracket?
I don't remember any. I just played.
I remember.
Over
I remember
half
class
that. I had
cards.
3 buys.
Yep. The last 2 is upon us no showed.
I mean,
That's understandable.
They heard Proyo was coming.
The only thing I've learned from all my
I'm sorry.
the only thing I've learned from all my games of Prisma
Me back
Ilia
away
is
from that.
deck Konosuba was a 1 out of 10 difficulty. Its deck's an 11 out of 10 difficulty. And my mind is nowhere near big bright enough to deal with this yet.
It's a really cool deck though. If you're not aware, it's you hoard climaxes.
It's on attack, burn 1 for every climax you ditch.
Yeah. it's something silly like that. It's like a better Mikasa that's much harder to set up.
I feel like once I figure it out and know what I'm doing, I feel like I'll sack just as hard.
Just never play against Gungale.
I'll stack just as hard as Konosuba.
Never
The
play
thing is,
Gungale.
the thing is, Mikasa at least has a good deck behind her. Priya does not. They would have draw Brainstormer.
No, Pearly has ways to set zeros on top.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose.
They do, yeah.
So Gungale's not
Oh, I
even that
guess
great
it is,
against
right,
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
So, and you run like 20-something zeros. So, not a big deal.
All right, Andy.
Round 5.
Round 5 I played against a standby Link Strike player too. It was a different person than you played, I think, because I was like
The full Link Strike combo?
Two.
Like
You
the
only
Black
have Link
Swordsman?
Strike
Black
style.
Swordsman.
He had Black Swordsman and a
Yeah.
bunch of Link Strike pieces, and it was standby. He seemed like a newer player, and like just like some of the stuff he was like missing. Like I had to remind him to do a couple of his triggers and like
Yeah, they're definitely not the same player.
a couple of little things like that, and a little bit of like inoptimal play on his part. But it was like a pretty competent deck. I was really impressed with it. And like afterwards, I asked him, I'm like, so why are you playing them over like you know like the switch combo? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so why are you playing that over that? And he's like, oh, I couldn't afford the switch combo, so I'm playing this. And I'm like,
It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it is cheaper.
The Link
It's a lot cheaper.
Strike combo's okay, as far as I've seen.
Yeah.
it seemed really comparable actually, and I kind of like the options you get with it too.
Because what,
you have a whole
You get to
toolbox.
pull out
Kirito
whatever.
pulls out another Link Strike. So you can Kirito into Link Strike Xenon, restate.
Or Link Strike Liz, which burns one.
There's a Link Strike.
And the Link Strike Liz salvages on play too.
Link Strike Aegil.
The hell's he
What?
do?
I don't
There's a Link Strike Austin at level 0 that
Not like a common.
does
It's
something.
like brown.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that card from Sorting.
I don't know what it does, I just know it exists.
Yeah, I there's also Link Strike Awesome. It's like a 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just said that.
He did.
I'll
He
take
did.
credit for that. Just said that.
Wow, Carmen. What a
that's
good
awesome.
What's it
observation.
do, Carmen? Do you know?
No, I didn't know.
I don't either. It was a fun game though. I like your deck.
All right. Me next, Brian.
Zach.
Okay, Zach next.
Oh. Let me get pulled back up.
Tell us about round 5, Zach.
So again, this time I was a standby build, but as I was going through, well, first of all, it's a bad matchup for me because South Standby just cheats out to like a brand, and I can't beat that without the double buff Aaron, the double 1K Aaron.
Oh, you mean like if it's shrouded by
Yeah.
the Leafa in the backup?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. If they have the Leafa in the backup, that's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, the threat of the power boost from the Leafa Amani
Yeah.
is enough to deter.
That's pretty rough, yeah.
But as I was going through the deck, I started to notice that the top end was different. It wasn't what the kind of usual top ends I'm used to. It's Death Gun.
Death Gun!
Death Gun support cards.
What's Death Gun do?
I will tell you.
Alright.
Where's our local Pittsburgh Death Gun expert
Paul
when we
played
need
me
him?
once with it. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like you
I didn't know they had a top end.
It's like you play these two back row cards that what they do is they what?
God, this is so funny.
Yeah, the Death Gun cards give
I've
stuff
never
like
seen
By the
someone
way-
seriously play those
By
cards.
the way, this is my new deck. I'm building this.
Oh, you're building Death
That's
Gun?
not
Okay,
sick,
yeah.
It's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, they have like back row
Give
cards
target.
that give target tray. Yeah.
He gives target to my entire field, and then if his comics combo is if my entire field is targeted, he pings me one. Then on reverse, he puts the character he just reversed on top of my deck. Then switches them to get death and pings me one guaranteed.
Okay, so it's like steamrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like that.
And because of the way it works, it gets around Armin. So even like he puts it on top, even though Armin.
It's like the character facing
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
character facing. Doesn't have to select.
yeah, just the way it works.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was very nasty. I wasn't even mad.
That's like how bombs work. Like Armin doesn't work against anti-change bombs.
I don't think you can be mad about losing to Death Gun in bracket.
No, yeah, that guy's very powerful.
Yeah,
Very strong.
we were super excited when he explained it to me how it worked. By the way,
Yeah, he's probably like, oh my god, someone cares about this. Like,
it's like, oh my god.
oh, that's awesome though. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
something out there,
that's
like,
cool.
He
doing
was,
something new.
yeah, it was
Standby Death Gun.
standby death gun.
Standby Death Gun.
It's like
standby
it was
too.
exactly the same as South Standby, but as death gun top end. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's
it's not-
Death Gun's climax? Is it gate?
No, it's give 2K and soul and draw a card.
Yeah, it's old style. It's real old.
2K draw.
Yeah,
2K draw.
Yeah.
We love 2K draw.
We hate 2K draw.
It kind of works in this though because it's based around pings anyway, so you don't want to be swinging small.
Yeah, I guess.
The
Yeah.
situation I was in, it really worked to his advantage. That
We like ping out. Oh, that's weird to think about. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like so old, it's like wrapped around to not being terrible. Because everyone compresses so hard, like pinging constantly is good. So, that's funny.
It's going to get to the point where vanilla swings
for 2 are broken.
I mean, we're already at the point where vanilla 3Ks are basically oversizes. So.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
We're getting
They
there.
are. They really are. Una shot next.
Unishot deck tech.
Next BCS.
All right, Brian, get it
All right.
back. You're next.
All right, let's see. What did I play? So, in round 5, I played against Love Live Sunshine again. This was a fairly easy round. My opponent, I guess, overestimated his ability to sack into the Chica Yo combo.
What do you mean stack into it?
So I hit my opponent up to level 2. I think he was 2-0 or 2-1 at the time. I watched him clock a Rika, and I was like, oh, here comes the combo. And he just tri-fields level 0s.
This guy's deck entirely foiled.
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, you would have remembered this guy.
I played against
Never
so
mind.
much Sunshine.
It wasn't this guy that I'm thinking about. Still.
I did play against a guy that had a lot of SPs, but I also played against a lot of Sunshine, so I don't remember very well. So he, by the end of the game, hadn't played the Chica Yo combo at all, and he died to a very classic Konosuba Fumio Megami burn.
Oh, why?
The old classic.
Damn.
All right, Carmen.
What are the
Oh, I played against Bang. So I played against Yukina. I actually played against a guy who I got some cool trades with. We were playing. He was like chilling while we were. Brian and I were playing friendlies. So you know who you are. Good games. I'm really familiar with that list. It was like Yukina with toilets.
That was the
Like what I brought to Springfest basically
the Union guy.
last year.
The Union guy.
Was it? Yeah, he wanted your unions. Yeah. I'm very familiar with the list. It was a really, which is like beside the point. It was a really awkward game. So I went first. We used the cards, the Shioko cards. I go first. I ditch like 5. I ditch 5, draw up, no 0s again. I'm like I was playing this like 13-0 Sunshine list, which we can get into later, like after we talk about our rounds. But yeah, so I drew up, no 0s, drew up again after ditching 5, no 0s, drew, clocked, no 0s, and I looked him straight in the face and I said, yeah, that's one of these games, and I said, pass.
Oh god.
He proceeds to also say, it's a bad one over here too. So he was out 5, like first turn, because I saw him ditch 2 climaxes, I believe, and he clocked 1. He then like clocked another one the next turn, but after that I was able to like really steamroll and do the stupid Sunshine shit, because my hand after that was like Stoxel, Chica, Ruby. I like drew into a Conan and like some other stuff. I was able to like play some 0s after that. Got to 1 first, obviously, because he was like tri-fielding me, which was probably because I was out so hard. Maybe the correct response was to slow roll me, because like I run a naturally low 0 count, or you assume me to run a low 0 count some Sunshine. Maybe the right response is to kind of like slow roll me until you get to level 1. But he put me up to level 1. I like had a 0 red in my clock, leveled it, played double Chica, Stoxel, salvaged. They lived cross turn because he couldn't clear them, because he was like also canceling at 0. Then I Stoxeled again, and put him like straight to 2. And at that point it was like really bad. I like played Chica Yo. He like didn't answer it. He like played a tonic auto pair, cleared my an SSP tonic auto pair, by the way. Cleared my Yo, conned it back, answered by playing another Chica and pulling another Yo, and at that point the game was just over. He didn't even get like a chance to play his Yukina combo, unfortunately. But like, I would say it was a good game, but it was just not a good game. he was out a lot on second deck early too. I won that game by like slamming Stocksoul with like a full field. He had one character, and like I attack with Yo. It burns for 2, attacks for 3 on the lane, or burns for 2, attacks for 4. The 2 cancels, and at that point he's just like, yeah, I'm dead. And he just eats the rest of it and dies. So. But yeah,
You could say
at that point it was 4-1.
You could say it was GG, but it was BG.
Yeah, I could say it was GG, but yeah, it's BG.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what happened during round 6?
Oh, I just played more pro now.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, we're even
Brandon's like, oh my god, really is so hard.
Guys, skip around.
It is hard, Carmen, alright? Give me a break.
Are you sure this is not round 7?
That's really
No, it's round 6.
6.
round 6.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or no, this is round 5. Round 5.
What?
Oh,
I just-
round 5
No.
was.
I
6.
just talked round 5.
Oh, I was the last in round 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
round 6. Yeah.
Yeah, round 6 I played against Sword Art again. I've never seen this build before. He was playing Standby Gate with no climax.
It's like a very popular build in Japan. It's like a JP build.
Or you know what? I think he had the Silica level 0, the one where
standby one,
standby
close
one
call.
that goes
Close
back
call
in hand.
Silica,
But no top end combo. He just had gates, and it was like really defensive. And like
He ran Accelerate Liz,
he
right?
had the Accelerate Liz and just everything at level 1. Like I was talking to him after he showed me his list, and everything at level 1 is like 6,500 or bigger. And I'm like, it's crazy. I guess you just never want to get reversed, huh? And he's like, yeah, that's the plan. That's the idea.
I guess that's one way to like dodge
No,
English,
seriously.
right? Like
and he
never
had
get reversed.
Yeah, he had the what is it? The some like Leafa early play. It was like a 3/2 Leafa that early plays if you have 5 or less cards in deck.
What?
I've never seen. I had to, like,
He
pick
ran
up
that
and read
card?
and like
That's a this is a madman.
it's like some old school stuff.
What greens did he run to support that?
He had like what was the event that the counter event?
I'm guessing a Magi too, right? He was running a Magi.
Yeah, he had the Leafa back row. He had the 2/3 event that cancels damage from a character.
Opposition, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton of green. He had some other green zeros, like the 3K Drop Searcher, Suguha.
Yeah, Kendo Boot Camp.
Yeah, Kendo Boot Camp. And he just completely like bled me out of resources. I was playing an on reverse deck with AOT and versus, and I just ran out of cards. And I tried to live one more turn by like, I delayed my Mikasa turn by 1 turn because he was at like 2/2. I'm like, I just need to like live one more turn, maybe I can get him. But, and I had 2 climaxes left and like 10 cards or something, and I triggered both of them on my attacks and just ate the rest of it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it was a really cool deck. I really like playing against it. Could definitely see myself make that very board-based deck.
All right. You
Who's
done?
next, Carmen?
Yep, I am.
Or Zach?
Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, Carmen went with the order. Changing seats on us.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, Zach, tell us about round 6.
I played against Mono Red Sunder.
Sunder.
Yeah.
Sunder.
So what? He played Stocksoul, the Boomer Coiner combo, whatever it is.
Dueling with the Moon.
No,
Dueling with the
no,
Moon.
not Dueling with the Moon. It was a Lagarn level 1 combo, which I'm not very
The
familiar
Trollback
with.
one, the on reverse
Yeah.
salvage.
Yeah, on reverse salvage.
So it was literally robots. Only
We
robots.
love the Moon, though.
Yeah, basically.
We love robots.
We love robots. I love robots, especially. It was kind of a walkover for me. I just was in control of the game the entire time.
I mean, you're really familiar with Gurlon cards, even if you're not familiar with the combo.
Yeah, it's like...
You see the marker stuff come down, you know to clear it.
Yeah.
Like, extend a bit to clear it, because when the marker lives over refresh, that's like extra stock. For
Yeah,
every
it's
month
a
on the
big
board.
advantage,
Like
yeah.
it's a lot scarier than you think. That stuff can steamroll a lot faster than you think.
That and he got a rough start, so he wasn't able to like set up properly and take full advantage of his combo. So when it came time to Sumter, he didn't have enough cards in his hand, so he couldn't actually finish me. So I just costed him. I mean, it's an interesting way to build Sumter. It's like it's discount because it doesn't run Carmen. You just run the trial deck combo instead. I guess. What?
No, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna cost him. He's dead.
Yeah.
That's life sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes you get
I mean,
accosted and you
There's
die.
only so much that you can explain how I burned.
I burned you one.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
Cancel.
I mean, how,
Eat 3.
I don't.
For one more.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I can say I Fumio'd my opponent and then Megumin comboed them and they died.
That's fair.
I only ever play against Brandon on Konosuba, and I don't think he ever does that. I think you just like blow.
He just plays Megumin raw. Oh
I Fumio
god.
sometimes. I Fumio.
Do you know what Fumio is?
That's the Aqua.
Okay.
You know what Fumio's from?
Bang.
Girlfriend Beta.
What?
Smug Carmen.
Is that a,
Seems like a cool set. I don't know.
Is it a Bang Dream set?
It's a Bang Dream set. That's so good. It's Girlfriend Beta thing.
Is that what Brandon said?
Yeah. All right. So Brian, tell us about.
All right, here's
Pass it
Zach.
off to Zach. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Musical camera.
In round 6, I played against Love Sunshine again.
Same build. So you played against all Chica.
Every game Chica.
Every game Chica. Okay. Was there any Ruby Tusul out there?
I didn't see any.
I didn't see any either.
Somebody said they saw some, right? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe in Hibs or somebody. I can't remember.
Alright.
Somebody said they saw some.
Anyway, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently my opponent opened 4 climaxes in their opener. Did a pretty good job of hiding it.
That's good.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that, like hiding the climaxes you're out, like slowly clocking them, like or
Yeah.
ditching them instead of just like being like, oh my god, get these out of my head. You know?
Yeah, so the weak Level Up Sunshine early game was even a little bit weaker, so
Okay.
I got some early damage in there. Surprisingly, my opponent held out fairly well. I did get to a point where I had a bajillion stock. Level Up Sunshine doesn't have a stock swap, so I was compressed fairly well. I got down to I was like 5 climaxes and 12 cards or something going into his last attack, and he Ruby Akatsuki's up the Rico Fumio and Fumio's me. And
Yikes.
I start sweating at this point because I thought I was safe. Now all of a sudden I'm not safe.
How bad was the Fumio?
It was pretty bad. Then I'm like what, like 6 and 30 at that point or something. So it's a lot worse.
Well, 6 and 30 is like fairly normal.
Well, yeah, but it's significantly worse than it was.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Well, 6 and 30 cards, not like, okay, yeah. That's not terrible. Worse than you were, but.
Yeah, my opponent blows me up to, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was high level 3. It was like 3-5.
Still a clock.
3-5 or something. I cancel the last attack, and no, what happened was my opponent swung at me, and had his Yo triggered anything, he would have pinged off my last climax and won the game. But his Yo whiffed, and I canceled it and swung.
Oh, Yo always whiffs.
And swung back for the win.
Even when you set up Yo never hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a surprisingly close game for my opponent being out 4 climaxes at the very start.
Sounded like a UK game.
It was a good
Good
game.
on him, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good game. That was at one of the high tables. It was like 2 or 3 or something. So it was a skilled place.
Was that the one where people were gathering around you?
No, that was my next round, I think.
All right. Well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, so what was that? Round 6.
That was.
Still have to go.
Yeah. So I'm 6-0 at this point.
All right, so round 6. I queue into the mirror match. The mirror match for Love Live Sunshine sucked. And like, I guess this is a good time to talk about it. So, a big mistake I made bringing LSS to this event, and it wasn't bringing LSS itself, but rather my deck list. I went with the whole idea that it's just like, oh, you're supposed to run less zeros. You're supposed to run 14. Go down to 13. I was on 13 zeros. This was a mistake. Trying to win 6 rounds in a row with only 13 zeros, and like you already heard, I was at a game where I didn't open a 0, right? Well, you know what 0 I opened in this lane in the mirror match? Yoshiko runner. You know when my opponent opens? Yoshiko anti-runner, followed by other level zeros. I proceeded to I feel like Yoshiko first turn, he immediately killed it, followed by I think I played Carmen in an empty lane, and then went to level 1. And I was able to fix my deck because I wasn't canceling at all. I was at 1-5 when I started level 1. It's it had a terrible opener. I was able to mill out with rubies and set up. I resolved double Chica. I was really well set for level 2. I clocked a Rico, played down Chica Yo, set a burn, and everything got canceled. He was compressing and canceling, and I was compressing but not canceling because all my climaxes were at the bottom. And it was just it was a really rough mirror match. It was really determined by the opener. The opener was so good, and I just think I lost so much ground that early in the game that I just couldn't come back. And it was 4-2. It was really uneventful, just really bad. He had a better game than me kind of game. I wish I could say something more unique about what happened, but
Sucked.
we did the same thing. He did his better because he had more resources, and I died. So 4-2.
Yeah.
Bad looks. I guess we can get into more reasonings and stuff after we go through the rounds. But
I guess on the topic of what was Sunshine while we're here, one thing that surprised me playing against Sunshine so much is how useful the Yoshiko runner's ability to give 500 power is.
oh yeah, so important.
In a world where a lot of things, especially things in Konosuba, sit at 2K or 2500.
Yeah.
That was
The Yoshiko's give 500 is super good.
Caught me a little bit off guard, yeah.
It's a super, super good effect. I saw that while playing Sunshine today as well. So, yeah. Across the board.
Brandon, tell us about round 7.
I beat my opponent in the bye round with Prillia.
Good job, Rick. We're proud of you.
All right.
You're Pittsburgh's jewel.
All right.
Our pride and joy.
Yeah, Andy.
Was it round 7?
Yeah, you and me. So I think Brian might want to hold this one, so we can just do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So round 7, another air
Yeah.
mirror.
Yeah.
Zach.
That was me versus Andy.
Me and Zach played.
Okay.
I didn't write anything down. I just said AOT Zach.
I wrote stuff down because this was probably my worst game. I mean, the other games
Good for me.
Oh, weird. It was good for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the other games I lost were mostly because I just didn't cancel at the end. That it's it just happens twice. But in this game, I actually made serious misplays. I'm still beating myself up over a bit.
Well, it's good. You got to beat yourself up about misplays.
Is it the one where
anything.
I geared when you had 1 card left?
Always be salty.
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst things you can do is every time you lose, just go, oh, it was just Weiss.
Yeah. You got to contextualize and be oh, it's okay, this happened.
So, like I was saying earlier, the AOT matchup, the mirror match feels a lot like who got their errands off.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And this game, I got my errand. I only got 1 errand off, but I did get my errands off first.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was just kind of giving them the runaround, popping stuff back in my hand, running stuff. Armin's and Mikasas, all over the place, and just being able, not only having the pop back on the errand, but getting an extra gear to your hand is huge in that matchup. Because there was a point where he double fielded errands to try to get a reverse on me, and even though I didn't have a bunch of runners, I could still use a gear to try to get away and stop his reverse. So,
Oh God, this is terrible. What is this? Henge or what?
It was $1 less than the other one, so 75 cents.
And the Molson. This is garbage.
Drinks. Really? It's not bad?
I'm not gonna waste beer.
I thought it'd be good.
It's terrible. It's trying to be sweet. Yeah. It's malt.
All right, so continue.
So
the AOT match.
Andy got his errand off first. He got his gear, and I I think it was because I was starting to get fatigued at this point. Like the previous longest thing we've done was Spring Fest earlier this year, which was 6 rounds. This was 7. And I'm not. Weiss is my first proper competitive game of any kind. Mm-hmm. So I think I just wasn't thinking that well because I forgot that he took it back and then play around properly. Okay. Because I think I played my own gear that I just drawn just to get something on my deck because I was this one just trying to go through it. Mm-hmm. I had 6 cards left, or I had 7 cards. I take one, and there was a choice between 2 mills, which is another Brainstormer or an Armin. And I ended up taking the Brainstormer, and I used it again. And his feud was the Aaron and Mikasa Runner, and that was it. So I played the 2 Aarons on either side of his Aaron, thinking, oh, I'm a genius. His Mikasa can't run away from my Aarons. I will get him a reverse. I'll get a gear. But
yeah, you had 2 cards left in your deck at that point.
Yeah.
And you wanted to go for he had double. This was a turn he went for double Aaron.
Yeah.
And you swung at my 1 card.
Yeah.
Because you set it up because I had a runner and that was the gear I had.
Yeah.
So you're okay, whichever. If he doesn't, I'll swing whichever one it runs in front of.
Yeah.
But then I was I geared away to the 2nd row so that when you attack with your second Aaron, you get a refresh and lose your weight again.
Yeah, and I mean, still got the bounce back, but I was counting on getting that gear back. Because after that, I just fell 1 step behind and I just couldn't catch up at that point.
It was if I was on your side of it, I don't know if I would have seen it either. That was kind of you have to really think ahead sometimes.
Yeah, you have to be.
You have to really count the number of cards in your deck and be
Yeah. And that's just hard to do in tournament settings, especially at the very end of a tournament. Yeah. So, I really wasn't playing my best. And then second deck, I think I refreshed 5, then I didn't refresh one, and then I refreshed Climax, of course, and I was just very decompressed my second deck. I think I kept drawing Climaxes, and it's right when I was Mikasing you at the end, it's I had 3 thank yous in hand. Because I kept drawing them. I was trying to mill, and then they kept going to my hand.
I couldn't draw a thank you against you. I had out of my thank yous, 2 of them were stuck in the bottom of my stock from the very beginning of the game. So I was digging, trying to hit one at the end.
Yeah, you didn't get one at the end. You
just kind of
had just swung under me because I just didn't have anything left. I was completely out when it went to his final attacks, and I just waited to just make sure he was actually try throwing level 3s at me.
It was a good game. One of the more enjoyable games I had of the day.
From your perspective, yeah.
So wait, what round are we in? Is this 6?
This is 7.
Oh, this is 7. Okay. Who's gone?
I didn't mean it.
I think it's my turn.
Yeah. Alright, okay, pass it to Zach. Yeah.
Alright, so round 7, I was playing at table 1. I played against blue, yellow, ReZero.
Oh, my favorite.
I don't like blue, yellow, ReZero.
Yeah, of course you do.
I don't like playing blue, yellow, ReZero. Playing against it's okay.
Whatever. I love Felt. Thank you, Tribal, man. Yeah. Oh, shit.
My opponent managed to
Carmen the lollipop.
get an unanswered rem. Unanswered rem out of level 2. Healed up, just started to compress out of control. Level 3 played a one of the yellow felt 3/2s that stock on attack, and essentially was just super compressed at that point. I was doing my best to catch up. I fired off my combo, which I believe I double Megabeam the guy.
Yeah, you double clock kicked Rem.
Yeah,
I remember watching
I clock kicked the Rem and something else, maybe the felt too.
Yeah, I watched a good bit of the end game of this.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
But both of my Megabeam burns got canceled. I was really floundering for damage.
Well, your clock kick put him over refresh, and I remember people asking, and I think me and Hibbs were there, and we were like, no, finish the effect.
Yeah.
Clock kick first, then refresh.
Right. Yeah, and at that point, we were both just kind of out of options. He was attempting to stay alive, and I was just vanilla swinging at him with my level 3s, and eventually I just got there.
Yeah, he was out everything. I remember he started putting his cards directly to clock, and so long as you didn't trigger Stock Soul, for the 2-soul, he had no chance of canceling.
Yeah, he on that last deck, he said he triggered his last book.
Which is like
everything else was clean.
Fairly scary. I mean, like he's still Re-Zero is still pretty compressed. And like so, swinging over for like 2 and then 3 on their next deck, like for a total of 5 is like way too much.
Yeah, but I swung for 3 and 3 with no triggers. Got exactly the line on a clean deck. So
yeah, so you're 7-0 going into top 8.
7-0 at the end.
So yeah, so spoiler alert. So like Brian was our top 8. He's the only guy who made top 8. It was just Brian.
All right.
That's the spoiler. It's just Brian.
So why didn't you make top 8, Carmen?
Okay. So, well, I was X2 for 1. But I guess this is what? This is round 7?
Yeah.
So I played against 2-soul, Stock-soul, Sword Art. This is a really weird list. I was like trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with this list while I was playing it, but my game state was so bad I was too busy worrying about myself. So like I was like, I canceled some early but also only played 1-0 every turn because I was running 13 zeros. I'm a dumbass. I'm sure it's fine to run 13 if you're a sack lord. You can just open great every time, but
Kit from Bergman.
But
Are you playing his list?
no. Same ratios, but I had a different 0 line.
We love Kit from Bergman.
Yeah. But yeah. So what? 2-soul, Stock-soul, Sal. So yeah, she's just like coming at me. She like slammed a 2-soul. I like ate a bunch of damage. I was like bleeding the whole time, and then I hit my like I'm at like 3-4. And I proceed to look down at the board, and I had like resolved the Chica Nayo and a Rico because I'm like a decent player at the game, and I'm playing Sunshine. I can resolve these things. I run 4 copies of
Playing Sunshine.
Playing Sunshine.
Oh, you guys were talking this morning about like, man, wouldn't it be great to just buy my wins? Just play Sunshine, right? Isn't that what it is?
Isn't Konosuba buying your wins, really?
All those hardworking AOT players, Zach.
Yeah. I have to work for my 3 Mikasa's and thank you.
But yeah, so like I look down, I'm at 3-4 and she's at like 2-4. I proceed to slam a Stock-soul, I believe, and like I have 2 Yos on the board, and it's like burn for 3, attack for 4, burn 2, attack for 5. It all sticks.
Oh god.
And then like the last vanilla swing with the Chica sticks, and she loses.
Wow.
After she was like up most of the game. I had a turn, I was at 0-6, and I had to clock and level myself. I clocked a Carmen because the only possible playable card in my hand was Amari. A 1-0 Amari. I proceeded to draw a level 2 Rico and a Yoshiko Musashi. And that's it. So I played Amari, top checked, left it there because it was a soul trigger, attacked once at level 1 and passed. So like that was the level that I was at that game, and I still somehow won.
It sounds like your opponent got robbed.
Yeah, my opponent was robbed 100%, and then I ended 5-2. That was like a bad way to go out. Like just like, wow, I feel like an asshole. Like I sacked so hard. Like my opponent, I'm sorry. Like that was a bad game. Like I was so behind. I did make a conscious decision when after that turn, it's just like, okay, I have to play for damage the rest of the game. I can't play for board. I can't care about anything else going on in the game. I have to play for damage. And I was just like tracking her climaxes. She like triggered 1 or 2s. Let's like tracking those things, damage related things, nothing else. I didn't care about anything else that deck did. It was running a weird split. Like I saw pieces of the switch combo like flowing into Clock and Grave. I like wasn't tracking it like very actively. And there was like also a blue 2-soul, and I saw like a Stock-soul with like blue hair, yellow. Like I was like seeing pieces here and there of like things, but like nothing cohesive. Like it It was like a Kirito Asuna deck.
Well, Carmen's opponent, if you're watching this, hook us up with a deck list.
Yeah, like I'm really interested as to what was going on because I was so worried about fixing my own deck state and keeping on the damage that I wasn't paying attention to like my opponent's deck really at all. I was just like trying to not die, and I ended up winning somehow. So I was 5-2. And yeah, that was it for me because we ended up cutting the top 8 right at 7.
Yeah, right at 7, yeah.
Serious?
All right.
Yeah, that's it. So I guess Brian's the only one left here, right?
All right.
All right, so at this point, I'm alone in the Wild West that is top 8.
Yep.
How'd deck check go?
Deck check was fine. The judge who checked my deck compared my cards against my deck list as they are supposed to, and examined my sleeves as they are supposed to.
Yeah. What was he looking at? Particular, like the edges, or?
Yeah. After he checked through all the cards in my deck, he just fanned out the back, see if if the edges were suspicious at all, or if there were any markings on the edges or
It's
anything.
like really mild compared to Hot Seat deck check.
Yeah.
I feel like Melanie she completely dismantled my deck. She took my deck, when I got top 3 at Columbus, she took my deck, shuffled it, felt it without looking at it, took out card by card, took 3 cards out, felt them, flipped them over, and only one was a climax, so I was okay. It was very weird. I was oh, Brian, because I was talking with Brian before top 8, and it's don't get freaked out by deck check, it's gonna be stupid. They're gonna think they're gonna try to think you're cheating or whatever.
It seemed very.
Don't be. And Brian was just yeah, it was no big deal. I was what the fuck? I'm over here getting traumatized in Columbus, and Brian just walks off scot-free, whatever. But yeah, it was cool that it wasn't actually a big deal in English. That's something notable because I feel a lot of people just kind of play JP, so they're more familiar with Hot Seat, WGP and stuff like that. So it's more lax, I guess, in English. You don't have to worry about it. If you're not actually cheating, you don't have anything to worry about,
Yeah.
Whereas in WGP, you can be not cheating and fail deck check, a normal thing for people in WGP apparently. So.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. Brian,
No,
go
yeah.
ahead.
So anyway, I'm top 8. After being 7-0 in Swiss, I'm first place. The 8th place in the top 8 cut to be my opponent is also Konosuba. That is
Hibbs, right?
Hibbs from Strictly Broken.
Yeah.
So we sit down. We have a fairly normal game. He hits level 1 first, gets his union combo off on me. I retaliatory union him.
Union revenge.
Yeah, union revenge. Eventually, I'm playing from a level behind most of the game. I don't feel like I really lost advantage anywhere. I just didn't cancel real well.
Yeah.
Sounds
like my day.
I do eventually catch up. I pop him up to the bottom of level 3, and he pops off his combo first. I manage to cancel and stay alive. I go back and I go for the kill because I'm at 3-5 or something, and I have to make a move. I Fumio him. He has probably 5 climaxes in his deck at this point, and fairly uncompressed. So I feel confident. I swing in with the Fumio. It sticks, or I guess I Megamine comboed and it stuck too. I think. I don't know. Well, regardless, my damage got him up to 3-6. I had 1 attack left with my my powered up explosion magic Megamine. I had the climax out obviously because I comboed with my Megamine. So I had one of 2 options. I could front attack for 3 or more if I triggered, or I could chance a side attack since it was across from a level 3, trigger 1 soul, and get in there for that last damage. I was not confident in my ability to trigger a soul. I fronted. I did trigger a soul, by the way. I should have side attacked. That was a mistake.
A posthumous mistake.
Well, obviously.
Obviously. A retrospective mistake. You can never know.
I mean, obviously wish I had side attack.
Yeah,
but
it's still gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. But yeah.
Yeah, I fronted. I got canceled on 3 or 4, and lost the game from there. Which is unfortunate because the name of my deck was "What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again," and nobody.
Which is the thing we say
That is the thing
every
we say.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing you say every time.
What do you mean?
Okay, fine.
What are you saying, Andy? What are you saying?
Somebody else can start opening the videos.
I'm gonna open the next video. I'm gonna say, what's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz. I'm not gonna know what else to say.
Yeah, whatever.
No, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again.
Yeah, well, that's now our
Hey
brand.
guys, these
Okay?
chips are great.
You're fucking well.
Yeah, but
That ended your.
all in all, my first, our first BCS, I'm more than happy to have made top 8. And any overall impressions from everyone else?
Yeah, so I wanted to get into overall things we learned from attending our first singles event, because we attended Springfest last in 2019, where we went to White Plains.
White Plains, yeah.
Which, by the way, we're going to try to attend more Springfest stuff this upcoming
We love Trios.
year. Yeah, Trios is sick in 2020. We want to go to more events if we can, try to be more frequent. I know that that's very common in other scenes. Like we were talking, it's just other people were I've been to 3 or 4 BCSs, and I was like, geez, But
Dude, the one dude was like, I've been to 9 this year.
it was crazy. I wish I could get out to that many. I hope we can get out to more Springfest than just one, because we really do like trios.
Yeah.
I think the big thing I learned from this event is respecting choices based on overcompensating for consistency, because when you play so heavily, so to give you some context, our local scene, we have 2 stores. We play anywhere between 2 and 4 or 5 times a week if we want to, in terms of casuals, at least 2 at least 2 actual pay to entry
Yeah, we have 2
bracketed events.
We have 2 scheduled events.
2 scheduled events, and then also 3 days of playing
2 or 3, yeah.
friendly, 2 or 3. So it's either 3 bracketed events and 2 friendlies events, or 2 bracketed events, 3 friendlies events every week.
We play a lot of Weiss.
Yeah, we play a lot of Weiss. So it's you're so focused on dealing with this local 3 to 4 round meta that you make all these choices based on what you have, and you need to think about consistency outside of that. So Brian and I were talking with I think he made top 4. Very successful Love Life Sunshine player, known for playing. I don't want to say his name.
Oh, wow.
I guess I already did. So Patrick, yeah, it was very. He's topped so many events recently. Extremely good player. Super nice guy.
Yeah, I played him in round 3 of Swiss.
Okay, yeah, he was one of the Sunshine players. Yeah, it's just super nice guy, awesome to talk to. And a big thing he was talking about is so I asked him on campus, how many zeros are you on for Sunshine? He's 16. And I was geez, that's a lot. I'm on 13. He looked at me I just cross-eyed. And I just and rightfully so, right? It's just you're going into a tournament saying that you need to win 8 rounds if you don't have a buy card, and then you have to win 3 times in top 8 to win. You have to think a lot more about overcompensating for consistency, and I think we saw a GGO deck get top 2, right?
Second place.
Yeah, second place with GGO, and I think we all underrate that deck a lot, to the point where all the people in our scene that bought into GGO are now playing Scanner. And I think that despite being maybe inconsistent from a local and low power from a local standpoint, the consistency of the deck to go and do triple early play every game is something that should be valued. And I think that's something our scene we don't really respect or touch on a lot. And I definitely have a lot more respect for this isn't that strong, but they can do it every time, so I have a lot more respect for that kind of strategy after this event, and I think that's going to carry for me going forward. I think that's a sort of a turning point for us to see, especially in our competitive Weiss careers. It's just to see this, just competitive consistency is very important in deck building.
As a Magic player, Brandon could probably account for this too, but coming to Weiss, because the games are best of 1 and not best of 3, if you get too aggressive with your tech choices and hurt your
or ratios, even your ratios,
and you hurt your consistency, it really hurts a lot more, because you don't have a second and third game to try to like
Right
side in a
yourself,
card
yeah.
and like try to like bring it back. You kind of you have your one shot at it.
Yeah, it matters even more that you want your deck to do what you want it to do when you want it to do.
It's like if you're gonna run a 1-of, you better have a goddamn good reason to run that 1-of. It better be like a very important situation. You better have ways to grab it,
Yeah.
you know? Like, there better be ways for you to get to that shit. So, I think that's the big thing I took away from the event, especially playing Love Live Sunshine and talking to Patrick and everything. It's just like, come on. It's just like, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, in deck building that I kind of like glossed over.
Yeah, but that is something I tried to do with my Konosuba list for this event. Is I cut down a lot of the 1-ofs, the tech choices. I don't think I run any 1-ofs in my list currently. I tried to make it as consistent as possible, and that seemed to get me places today. So
Maybe I got it all wrong. I ran a bunch of tech choices. I was gonna like piggyback off what he said and be like, I made a bunch of tech choices, like thinking the meta we were going into was gonna be, you know, somewhat of a mirror of our own.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot of Konosuba, a lot of Love Live Sunshine, and like I assumed there'd be a lot of Bang Dream too.
I was expecting a lot more Bang Dream than I saw. There was definitely a lot of Bang Dream around. I just didn't get to play against any of it.
I don't know. I guess the thing is that like you don't want to just assume you're going to play against the same thing over and over again, because that's when you get hit with like I got hit with like 2 or 3 different Sword Art opponents, and it's like I didn't think I'd see that all day long. But that's probably just like
one of
our
us
scenes. I guess our scenes may be fairly newer, so they've gravitated more towards like Bang Dream and Konosuba and like some of the newer sets. So.
Somebody's going to build Kirito waifu around here. We love Kirito.
You, Brian. It's your
Okay. Kirito is my waifu now. We love Kirito.
We do love Kirito.
Carmen loves Kirito.
Huh?
I'm just saying, I'm going to build Kirito waifu. We love Kirito.
Kirito White.
What's your favorite chapter of the Sword Art manga?
16.5.
That's the light novel, but yeah. He said manga.
It was a joke. It was a joke, I swear.
That's no joke.
But yeah,
It's
it's like,
else?
True.
I think we learned a lot for coming to our first event. It's like, it's weird to say we came to Toronto, Canada. We're from Pittsburgh to compete in this event, but like Toronto is actually the closest to us by drive. This was 5 hours. Secaucus was 7.
Like
Chicago was 7.5.
We got to get out to Chicago. The scene out there is huge. The one
Yeah, it was like I really want to go and see the Chicago. I want to do like, ideally, if there's a Chicago regional, I want to go out to their local, one of their locals.
Apparently they play 5 times a week. That's what Hentai Dude said.
Okay, all right, cool. I love hentai in the card games Discord.
Shout outs to I Love
Big
Hentai.
big fans. We're all big fans. So, yeah, it's like this was definitely like super worthwhile. Like Brian obviously made top 8. He's putting us on the map as a bunch of people who play Weiss that aren't garbage. Like, hell, we play this game enough.
At least one of us is not garbage.
Yeah, at least one of us isn't garbage. The word's still out on the rest of us, but I don't know. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I think we covered everything.
Yeah. I think, well, what's the next thing we have in the pipeline? I always like to end our
Look
videos.
forward to Kirito waifu deck tech.
Kirito waifu deck tech. We have more deck techs in the pipeline. I think the last one that has gone up has been Gurren Lagann. Which
Yeah,
is Zach's.
that one.
We were talking a lot about robots.
Carmen, I'll throw a Prillia deck.
Prillia deck tech. Yeah, no, it's all you, Brandon. But we want to do more. We want to start doing like match commentary, and I know that's a thing that a lot of the other channels are doing more of now. I know Burn One's doing more of it. And I don't mean to like piggyback, but I do think it's important. We had someone, we had Hibbs tell us.
Yeah,
like,
it was recommended to us by.
Recommended to us.
I'd be down
like,
for that.
Match commentary is very good, and I agree. It was something I wanted to get into before anyone said anything to us, but I do think it's important, and I do want to do some of it. Because of course we can record games we play so often. It's not a big deal. But I think the other big thing we have in the pipeline is the Goblin Slayer pre-review.
Yes.
Which we want to do. Goblin Slayer is going to be a really big deal in English. And we want to
like all of us pre-ordered.
Yeah. How many people in here pre-orders?
Everyone but
Me,
Brandon, I
Zach,
Everyone but Brandon, I
Andy,
believe.
Brian skipped out on it, but
We don't like goblins.
well, Brian's playing Konosuba, so he just
Konosuba players don't play goblins.
Exactly.
All right,
gotta keep that RPS.
The majority of this room has pre-ordered Goblin
We
Slayer.
play on blue.
I feel like most people have, yeah, and we already have Bunny Girl out there. Check out some of our spicy opinions, Basketball Man.
We love that.
Yeah, we love Basketball Man.
Trailers.
But yeah, I think that's it. Anybody got anything
You
else?
just wait, dude. Like 2 or 3 years from now, like the 2022 metagame is gonna be traitless. You know, There's gonna be, like,
basketball is going to be like.
there's gonna be on demand trait hate, and you're just gonna see like traitless
What if
basketball
like
play.
tribe infecting virus?
Yeah.
That card's bad. I think.
At some point.
Kunabi, who knows?
But yeah, is that it, guys? We got anything
I think
else?
that's it.
All right, thanks for tuning in for this tournament report.
What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz.
No, that's your deck name.
What's up, guys? Tim Hortons tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so
24
yeah,
hours.
I think that's all we got.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz signing off.